Really?
Yes.
Answer the question. I said the reason I use what I use was because spiritual fathers tend to be more respected. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you don't respect your parents, but when it comes to very shifting decisions in our life, we tend to listen to what our spiritual father has to say.
Okay.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Untamed podcast. And my name is Ifunaya, if it's a fire, if that's what you like. And with me are three wonderful personalities that I cannot wait to feel their vibe right in this podcast. Beside me here is Somi. Say hi.
Hi, guys.
And beside Somi is the Bellacious.
This name. Hi, guys.
And beside the Bellacious is someone just staring at me. I don't know if he's crushing on me or something, but
Oh boy.
It's plenty.
Oh boy.
it's too much. Say hi to everyone. So on this podcast today, and guys, okay, if this is your first time of watching or this is the Untamed podcast, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. If you've been watching our previous videos, I'm very sure you've been enjoying it. Also like, subscribe, and drop your comments, share to your friends. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about parents and their role in the decision of our marital life. So I'm going to throw it open. I'm not pointing to anyone, but do you think your parents play a role in decision making for your marital partner?
Me, I say yes. So they play a heavy role. They play a good number of roles. Being that, wait. You know what? This thing go enter well for PG.
Talk on.
They talk say, waiting old person, we wise. Man, now Apple wise. Waiting wise old person, sit down, see. You will be small picking. If you like, climb the highest mountain. You can't see it. So, I say they have a view, they have a say because they know, it seems as if they have this way of telling what the possible outcome of the future might be. We, the young ones, once you hear I love you, think they shock us. We know they think of the next. Is that we are in the spur of the moment kind of people. We like the now.
Sorry. This thing you are saying, honestly, it sounded like a personal confession. Because I know, see, first off, in this life, now people papa their neck as it is. See, stupid people grow old, fools grow old. So what I'm trying to say, I'm not dragging anybody, is that as much as I might want my parent, my mother or spiritual father to be involved, I don't think that should be the standard generally. Because the way we are saying it now, you might say it from your own and it will work, but I do not. So if it's a yes or no question,
parents have a role to play in
decision making.
Yes, for your marital partner.
Bro,
I think they've played the role before that point. Personally, I think they've played the role before that point.
So you're saying that they don't have a role to play?
Oh no, they definitely do have a.
They definitely do. No, wait, let me get this picture because my mind, maybe it's just my bias is speaking. Okay. Is it that I met Ijoma? So is anybody here Ijoma? So is it that I met Ijoma and I have to consult my mother or my father or my spiritual father? Yes. Is that the question? Just so I'm clear.
No, just answer it the way you think it is.
Because if it's this one, no. I do not agree.
You're not agreeing?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to be on the fence.
Self-defense.
Defense. Sorry, did you say on the fence? THE.
On the fence, like I'm going to be on the fence, like sitting on the fence.
No. You gotta come
agree because
you gotta come
out. You are either for us or you're against us.
I'm going to be on the fence here. So if we look at it from another angle, what happens to those that don't have parents? And they do not have any form of spiritual guidance? They get married too, if we look at it from that angle. And then again, for those of us that are opportune to have people to guide us, they play a very important role.
I feel like
But
the reason why I
you
feel
can
like
always make mistakes.
the reason why I feel like this is a very dicey question is because, as I say, you really can't afford to sit on the fence. Is this what about kids, people that grew up in abusive households? Do we consider them? Because see, when you see the number about people that grew up in this household, it's staggering. The percentage is really a lot.
Yeah.
So do you really want such?
So sorry, I'm going to take you from there.
Okay.
If you live in an abusive household, that becomes a yardstick for you, unless you choose to probably change your mindset. But it becomes a yardstick for you.
Okay, now I have an opinion.
So now
the advice he gives to you.
why would I ask my father that beats my mother or that used to beat my mother, I don't know,
Now,
about
hold on.
the choice of a
Based
partner?
on- based on
My
this-
father will tell me, okay, marry a
Now-
a lap dog.
Okay, based
Come
on
on.
what you guys said about abusive homes, I feel it's the parents I always blame. Why? Because from the inception, you knew this person had violent tendencies. So if we're talking of domestic violence, we're not talking on one side. We're talking on both parties.
Okay,
They're domestic.
you see that
men who
I don't
suffer
want
from
us to
domestic
I don't want
violence.
us to approach this topic from an idealistic point of view.
No, I'm not approaching from an idealistic
let's
point of
approach it
view.
from the reality of things.
That's
on
what
ground.
I'm saying. It's the
Personally,
reality.
I know I will, but if I want to speak like someone that is not ignorant of what is happening around me, I grew up not knowing that husband and wife used to fight. I grew up not knowing that daddy used to beat mommy. But then as I got to a certain age and I started becoming aware of my surrounding, I began to see, okay, there's a couple fighting down in the next building, down the street. Oh, there is this, there is that. So what happens in such situation? So that's why I said, is it really a personal question, or should we answer it from a worldview? Because if we were to answer it from a worldview, I think there's a lot involved. And I would naturally, first off, I would say you need to work on yourself.
So I'm going to derive a question from what Somi just said. Now, this is the Untamed podcast. So remember we said we're going to talk about things in the Christian perspective, even as young people. So as a Christian, whether you were brought up in an abusive home or in anything home that is not the ideal home, do you believe parents have a role to play in decision making for marital partner?
Oh, definitely. I feel they do.
Sometimes not saying anything, you're just quiet.
He's fencing.
He's fencing. Okay, you believe they do.
Okay, if it's a yes or no question, yes, you have a role to play.
I think most of the time, depending on the church you go to, you believe in spiritual fathers or you do not believe in spiritual fathers. So I'm not going to ask for anybody's personal your own personal opinion, whether you are in a relationship or not. We don't have to say it on this podcast, but let's just imagine Chidi, Belasius, to me, let's say you are single, like you're not dating anybody. Do you think your spiritual father decides who you marry? I'm going to start with you.
Sorry, I have a question. Why did you use decide for spiritual
decide?
father and then you didn't use decide for?
Okay, so I think the reason I used it because I discovered something, because I'm balanced. I have tested Anglican word, I've tested Pentecostal word. So I can tell you that most of the time, some people listen to their spiritual fathers more than their parents. Honestly speaking, I don't want us to drag this. I'm not saying it's the right thing. I'm just saying they listen to their spiritual fathers more than what their parents say. That's why I'm coming from that perspective.
Okay. So are we looking at this question from the Christian angle, or just
it's the Untamed podcast.
We are looking for this?
But but you say your opinion. Let's hear your opinion.
My personal opinion. Okay, so
the first question you even answer is, do you have a spiritual father?
First off, you didn't even answer my question. I said, why did you use? Why did you describe?
I answered your question.
She didn't say. Yeah, she
answered your
didn't
question.
say.
I said the reason I use what I use was because spiritual fathers tend to be more respected. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you don't respect your parents, but when it comes to very shifting decisions in our life, we tend to listen to what our spiritual father has to say.
Okay.
Because you say we are see finished as my parents now, but that spiritual father said pray 10 hours today, pray 7 days. We tend to listen to them more. But if our mother says pray 10 hours, Mama, beg.
Alright, so let me answer your question. First off, no I'm looking for. I don't want to. I'm looking for the right words. No spiritual father. No God called spiritual father. Not the one that.
Sorry. Now you are doing the same thing you said I was doing. No, because you're saying God called spiritual father is spiritual. Devil called.
Let me land.
Okay.
Let me land.
I feel like you. Okay.
Let me land.
Peace.
So,
Peace.
I
I'm a man of peace.
I don't think any God called spiritual father will decide. He will suggest. He will not decide. He will suggest and tell you this is what he saw or this is what he thinks.
I think that's where we usually have problems.
He's going to leave it to you.
Because you are saying
Definitely.
God called.
Pray
How do
or
I
do
know? How do
whatever
I
you want to
differentiate
do.
a God called spiritual father and a
Like I said,
not God called
Like I
spiritual
said,
father?
like I
That's
said,
another question.
Because I feel like you are. That's why I said
I'm
you are
answering
being
for you.
idealist. No.
I have.
Okay, well, it's your opinion,
The
which I
decision
respect.
still lies whether he's God called you or he's whatever called.
No, we have
The
listeners.
decision-
We have listeners there, and you saying God called. I really like being.
You have to.
I
make
really
decision
like being
yourself.
particular when
Is your-
detailed.
Is your spiritual father going to live with your wife?
No, why do you say God called spiritual? It's just like you saying a pastor. And I say a
Some
God
just want you
called
to
pastor.
answer that God called. Why are you putting
I don't
God
want us
called
to
in front of
just
the spiritual
brush
I'm
over
trying to tell
certain
you
things
that-
like this.
Nobody, no spiritual father will enforce
Someone on you.
Nobody. They will not enforce it on you. They will tell you, and then they will tell you to pray about it. If you come back and you say, "Oh, Holy Spirit told me she's not the one," it's your problem. He has done his work. That's what I'm trying to let you know. You will not say, "Oh, when after telling him, oh, she's not the one," you now come back and say, "Ah, no, you must die there. You must if you don't do it, I will tell all the congregation to pray against you." No. The decision lies with you. Same with your parents. The first one we talked about still lies with you. You hear stories about people absconding from home because they want to marry somebody they love. It happens. So the decision lies with you. Nobody can enforce. No spiritual.
I think
father.
I support what he says.
Okay,
Because
let's hear your opinion.
nobody has the right to enforce someone on you. You know.
What
So
if they
the
persuade you?
spiritual father thing is people. Why I feel when people tend to listen to spiritual fathers,
Okay.
quote and unquote, being I feel they don't know how to decide for themselves. But if you bring the issues of relationship and marriage
Okay.
into the picture, this is someone you are going to live with till eternity. And the person, that spiritual father has no right to tell you, this person you are with, there's this brother in church. My mind is,
What
you
if
must.
what is because he's spiritual? He's seeing things you're not seeing.
He
Just
can
tell you.
only suggest to you. He can't force. If my spiritual father comes and tells me, I said this brother is, and I have someone in my life.
Sorry.
I am going to go with that person. I won't
Sorry,
even
how
listen
do
to
you
what
define a spiritual father? Because at this point, the way you guys are saying it, I don't know. Maybe because
What do you think a spiritual father is? Who do
issue
you
of
think?
a life partner is something so serious that I see. Maybe call me detail oriented, but I like. Let's not just use ambiguous words like ambiguous statements like God fearing spiritual father, like a proper no.
No,
Let's say it the way it is, because I called you. If I call you my spiritual mother, the reason why I called you my spiritual mother is because there are certain virtues I believe in the calling upon your life that you would impact my life. So really, for me to call you my spiritual father, there's no fake spiritual father in my own view if I'm calling you my spiritual father. So meaning that your words, your counsel carries so much weight to me.
So in other words, you
So
Spiritually.
to cut this whole story.
You look up to the person.
You look up to the person
spiritually.
spiritually.
yes. So because the way you guys are saying it like you can decide not to. There is no God-fearing spiritual father. There's no extra. The way you guys are saying.
okay,
So what am I driving at? What am I driving at? I'm driving at the fact that the reason why you call this your person your spiritual father, and we've seen it a lot on social media. We've seen it on these blogs. It is my spiritual father that led me. Spiritual father will do matchmaking. Spiritual father will do this.
Now, this is where people get it wrong.
Okay.
Your spiritual father, his duty is just to direct. I don't see why people follow the doctrine or the imposition of a spiritual father telling you this is the person meant for you. You're not going to live with that person with me.
So I have a question for you, as a Nigerian Igbo girl. Have you ever had a pastor pray for you and say, those looking for a partner?
That's happened.
Take it
It
again.
has happened, yeah?
I've been to a lot of prayers.
and-
Have you been to places where the pastor will pray for you? You are looking for a spiritual.
Imagine if the pastor engages you in a conversation at that point, and the pastor tells you, and you tell him, there's this boy, his name is Wahid, and the pastor tells you, no, that's not the boy for I prayed. Would you still go ahead with the same guy, even though you feel
that is left to you?
It is left to you.
It's actually left to you.
Telling you.
Now,
It is left
I feel when we talk of these people called spiritual father, people refer to as spiritual fathers, there's a certain level of limits to what they can do in our lives. You don't let them be all in your life. If a spiritual father tells you that, okay, sir, I have someone in my life, his name is Wahid, and he tells you this is not the person I saw. Now it is left for you, who has a personal relationship with God, to go and confirm from God. Okay. People make that mistake of spiritual father. When spiritual father has spoken, he has spoken.
Yeah, some people have that mentality.
I want to give an analogy. Yes.
Okay, let's hear you.
So
because this is paining me.
Okay.
I've seen it happen so many times. It's paining me.
Let me give this analogy. Yes. Like we all believe in God, yes.
Yeah.
And
We're Christians, yeah.
We are creations of God,
of course,
in His likeness.
Yeah.
But in as much as God created us in His likeness and gave us rules and regulations, and then there's the Bible for us to go by, He still gives us freedom to make our choice.
Yeah, free will.
He still gives us the free will. There's the rules, there's the regulations that you must follow, but you can always go astray. Or we as humans, let me not say we can always go astray. We as humans go astray. Do you understand? From those rules. Not that we don't know them, we know them, but we still go astray. It is left for you to make the decision you want to make. But you can always go back and say, I think I made a wrong choice. I need your help. God, do you understand? Your spiritual father is playing the God role. He's like the mediator. Do you understand?
Okay.
With that in mind, just know that the choice at the end of the day is still yours.
What would you do if you love someone, you've spent months and years with this person? Let me even go deeper. You as a guy, you've already knelt down, or a lady like, oh my God!
Hey!
And you take the person home and your parents say no.
You give them reasons.
I'm going to start
yes.
with. So
Let me
I want to start with here.
Sometimes is going to ask us
why not?
No. Are you?
You ask why a man should kneel down.
Why will I do that? Why should you not kneel down as a man?
Okay, so
No, we're not going there. No. Just,
Why me? Why did you ask?
Alright.
Yeah, let's start with the man at the fence. Or man on the fence.
So I think you should give them, if you really love the person, you should give your parents or whoever it is that is your guardian a reason to say yes.
Okay, so now
What
to
is
me,
say no?
You will give them a reason to say yes.
for
You
me,
really
okay.
think their opinion is needed, or their opinion, like I said, the decision still lies with you. I can always decide to, without my parents,
Get married.
get married.
Wow, brave kid.
Wow.
But if you think that their opinion is very important, you have to give them a reason to like her.
Okay, Bella. Yes.
I feel If, to me, I will take it. I'm answering based on personal point of view and experience. If they say no, I would advise to go pray about it. If you have that personal relationship with God, he always has a way of making it work out. They will like the person one way or another. But if what they are saying is somewhat the mind of God, there is no how you want to fight it. It's still a no. Now it is left for you to ask God, what's their reason for saying no? Find out. And God just has a way of showing it. Now, if we don't want to talk on based on that spiritual aspect, I would say, if they say no, like he said, give them a reason to say yes. It's not left for that partner, the person you want to settle with. That person has to work to make them like you, to make them love you, to make them see that, okay, this person is the best person for my son or for my daughter. So
contraindications. Do you have anything?
Contraindications.
First off, you took me from first to last, but then no, these things matter. And so also I believe in the same vein, if I am to get married today, trust me, my mother would have known about the girl like probably a few months before. So involving your parent, if you have to, or at least one of them in the process, not them being a part of the relationship now, telling her, there's this pretty girl I know. No. Up until that point where you pop the question, for me, it's quite critical for me to involve my mother in the process. It's not that I'm asking for my mother's approval. She's not in the relationship with me. She will not be the one that will be in the house with me if I get married to the girl. But I just find it makes things easier. It makes communication easier if I can tell my mother, there's this pretty girl and she's with me already in the process.
Okay, so we're all.
So I don't think there will be that question.
And I also believe in, especially in the side of we ladies, if when you have a partner and you feel, okay, this is the person, you and your partner should make an effort to introduce each other to each other's family before anything goes down, before even popping the question. So that let's see if there is a sync.
But the question that thing raises one question.
That's important.
What about these people that, as a pretty lady that you are, I'm sure there are more than maybe 2-3 guys. That's me trying to be decent. That are looking at it like, hey, I'm a man, I'm trying to settle down. Can I get to know you? Stuff like that. So for you as a lady, because I am curious now, I'm saying it from trying to learn. What would you then do? Like, do you introduce your mother to all the guys?
You cannot. Of course, for a normal lady, you can't have more than one person. You will say you are.
For a normal lady.
Wait. Hold on. When I say it's not no. We women, we know ourselves.
How will you? No, it's not like I didn't say you are bringing. You see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say you are bringing him home.
There are people who,
like, let's say as a lady you're closer to your mother.
So you're trying to test.
So you're trying to say, I did not say test though. If you
test, not taste. Test.
We are Christians, yeah.
Test, not
okay. Well. You too. So what I'm trying to say, okay, there's this eligible bachelor that is striking me, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you tell your mother?
Yes.
And it feels like, okay, this guy checks a couple of boxes just from a few, little chat.
Yes, I will tell my mom.
Okay.
Guys, I think it also depends on how close you are to your parents.
Exactly, the relationship you have with your parents.
Yeah, I feel like if your parents are like best friends to you, it's easier to say, there's a Chidi, there's a Soto,
there's a Woo,
there's a Buzo.
So
you understand?
There's something I told somebody one time that was having relationship issues. Yeah, I told her that if you are willing to settle down, yes, you must be willing to fight. You must be.
Love is war.
You must be ready.
Love is what?
It's war. It's battle. It's a battlefield.
It's not war for me. Speak for yourself. How many sword I get?
Some parents we know, yeah. very tribalistic.
Okay.
So you can always bring somebody of another tribe and they will tell you, oh no,
Nah, it's
this
not
cannot
done.
work. But you see some of these people getting married.
Now, okay, that
They
now
will
brings another point of view. What if the battle you are going into is bigger than you?
There is no battle.
Possible.
But
My dear, battle
Chidi,
there.
it's possible. I
Battle.
have a personal theory, but I'm not
There
ready to
is
share. It's
battle.
possible.
Look, I'm going to say this based on what someone has told me. She is married.
So you think there's a battle that you cannot?
There is battles you can't handle.
You think so?
My dear, yes.
but you're a Christian. You
If
should
Exactly, you're a
you
Christian.
should relax.
Look,
Give
I
God
think
all
the way
your.
she's saying it that you guys are getting it wrong.
Because right now I'm
you're getting
scared
it. When I
already.
say-
Battles.
When I say battles that you can't handle,
But
there are
if we start this
best,
topic, we'll not end.
there are battles best left untouched. Because you tell me if the person is not from the same tribe as you,
Okay.
you're ready to fight. Yes, there are times when you push through with it and you win. But there are times when you see that family has put their foot down.
But you
That
know
no
that there's
matter
always
what.
a way out. Do you know the way out?
What's the way out?
Take
What?
your wife and man marry.
Hey!
That's what we're saying.
So
That's
so that means you're an advocate.
That is you.
But it means that the war is still
No,
happening.
look.
So
You can't
sorry,
stop.
Chidi,
always-
you're an advocate
it's
of
always-
getting married without
Without
parental
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 blessing. That's what
blessing.
you're saying.
Yeah, that's what you are advocating for, with or without parental
That
blessing.
if it gets to that point and your mind is totally made up and you are sure that this is the. Some people will tell you, if you want to do whatever comes out of it, don't come back to my house. Some parents will do that.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Yes.
After giving you the advice, they will tell you. But if you're sure and you are convinced and your mind is made up,
See,
that's the
there is
problem.
no how someone is convinced that you need.
Do you know what
You
it
will
takes
need-
for you to leave your parents? And
You
go
will
and get
need
married?
the backing
You
of
have
a
to.
certain a certain.
Sorry,
How do I
I
put
think
it?
what I noticed here is we're talking from the male perspective. Maybe let's hear
You tell
them
a
out.
young girl.
Can you please give us
hold
more?
on. If you tell
Use
a
it.
young
Give us a
girl-
case.
If a young girl runs off and gets married to someone whom you know that both families don't even like each other, and you tell me that lady just goes ahead and marry, should be told that marriage is not going to be peaceful. It's not going to be fun.
How do you mean?
Why? Why?
I feel life has a way of throwing its turbulence on people.
Because first of all, we're Africans.
We're
can't do
Africans. We can't do
extremism.
without our
Do
friends.
you also believe that there can be a change of mind from the part of
There
the
can
parents
be
after
a change.
they've done what they've done?
See,
Do you believe?
I believe, but in our family, our African
So,
farm setting,
I think
there is
you
no
have your
how.
mind- you have your mind zeroed to a particular, what's the word now? I beg borrow me English. You are fixed to a particular point of view.
Yeah,
No, I'm
particular.
not.
That's it.
Okay, this is what they call
Just-
attack from both angles.
From both left and
Okay.
right.
If we stay here,
Literally.
we'll not
So what
sort
I'm
this
trying to
out.
say is that there is always a way out. So sorry.
I believe
when
there's
I was in
there's
school-
no
when
there's
I was
not.
in school, the lecturer said something. He said, "Do you know that not making a decision is also a choice? You can choose to not
not
do
make it.
anything.
Yeah,
it is
true.
a choice.
True.
Okay.
So you can't say I have no choice. Not doing anything is a choice.
Alright.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I still don't agree with most of these points. I don't have anything to say
that's what
because
we're here to share
the
your
attack is from
opinion.
both angles, so I leave it to them.
So I leave it to you guys. This is the Untamed podcast again. We've talked about the role of parents and what you think. So let's hear your opinion. Do you think your parents have a role to play in decision making? Do you also think that you should involve your parents before you pop the question or after you pop the question?
Yeah. Do not sit on the fence. Don't sit on the fence.
Alright, okay.
Like they don't do
do not
it.
sit on the fence. So do not sit on the fence. Drop your comment. Let's know what your opinion is. Thank you once again. This is the Untamed podcast. We'll see you another time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Mwah.